8, 26 wins, 24
I
losses.
should have that guy. I actually legitimately feel more comfortable against the 5.3 Protoss than I did 4.9 Terran.
What's the lobby chat called, dude?
Alpha 4225.
42 what?
4225.
Okay. Who is this man with 6K in around?
Eric.
I've never heard this guy in my life.
He's ranked 12.
Yeah, no, I'm looking.
That could be anybody. He's boosted, bro.
Dude, I could be 6K too. What are you talking about, dude? So this guy's nothing.
Is Riser online or not?
Who's mentioned me?
So should I go Blink or Stargate this game? I guess it's put on. Shock. What should I go do? Stargate or Twilight? Anybody?
What? What do you want?
Stargate or Twilight in PvP?
I'm a believer in the Stargate.
I was feeling Stargate too. Because my boy Shock and Siege are just saying fuck you pretty much.
I'm warming up, alright?
I don't even know what you just said.
Warming up.
Why did he ask
Oh,
if you
warming
played
up.
Brood War?
Dude, I don't know why
I
Siege
think
is
it's a
talking
person
about
brewer
this.
that's named for this breed.
Bro.
I get that ass.
Bro.
Oh.
It's not that hard, bro.
Maybe there's a
What do you say?
Rise boo.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I legitimately couldn't hear you.
I don't know why you can't play both at the same time, or talk and play at the same time.
You know I'm bad at that.
It's because he sucks, Nico. He's not like us.
Doesn't take that much APM, bro.
The 8, 26 wins, 24
Yeah,
Riser
that
is off.
guy.
Mr. Food.
I actually legitimately feel more
That's
comfortable
fine.
against the 5.3 Protoss than I did 4.9 Terran.
What? What the fuck? What's the lobby chat called, dude?
Yeah, is it against the rules if Riser plays if it has no
Stuff
clan
like
tag?
that.
Did what?
Does Riser need to have the clan tag on to play this? Because he doesn't have the clan tag on that account.
What kind of?
Does he, to play an alpha, doesn't he need the clan tag?
I don't know.
No.
Why? Does he not have it?
No, because he's on the Blizzard account.
Oh. I mean, you can always switch accounts to give him shit for it.
Why doesn't he get on a non-Blizzard account?
I don't think they let you.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's on the one that Blizzard gave him.
I mean, I logged into my non-Blizzard account at StreamHacker. And nobody gave a shit. It's all pros, dude.
So which one of these guys is Nano?
Void Ray? What's with these Void Ray guys?
Yeah, I didn't even know him.
I don't know if he had a different name or not.
I think they just want to kill you.
Alright, so I just gotta watch out for the Phoenix that's gonna try to lift my probe. I'm just gonna wall off the gateway real quick.
Let's keep 2 probe. There.
He's all in me, right? Like, or am I tripping nuts right now, dude? Like, you don't just make a void ray if you're not all in. Oh, he made a gateway. Okay, he's on it. I'm gonna be stuck on this ramp, so I should make another. So better. Do you think he's just like abandoning me?
I don't know. Maybe you can check with the Phoenixes.
Maybe I'm just overreacting for no reason.
Holy fuck, I can't believe I won that one. Against Vagabond.
There he is.
Alright.
Where's GM? PvP.
Huh?
I feel like I shouldn't be sending these things across the map. Okay.
Rainer won his group.
Of course you did.
Special for Showtime. Oh my god, Showtime might not make it. One of them aren't going to make it, actually.
You want double immortal.
Hmm?
Alright, I have 3 gateways. I'm gonna just keep making
Wait, who
Phoenixes.
won between Killers and Lambo?
I don't know yet.
Oh, that's about to happen.
I think it's happening now, actually. It's happening now on the main stage.
Alright, so we're gonna get out of that chat channel and into our own. I hope my fan isn't audible. If it is, please tell me to chat. Oops. What am I trying to do? Control left. Yes. Okay. So, starting off, we have in the bottom right side of the map, we have in the orange for Try Again Gaming, it is Nano. And then the top left, hot offish, amazing performance at Montreal, Montreal, we have the purple Protoss player from All Inspiration, it is Riser. Alright, so we're starting off in the PvP. Not a pretty interesting matchup. Not the one I'm most versatile on, or knowledgeable on, I guess is a better word. Hey. What? Who knows? Let's turn my fan off, because it's really not even that warm in my apartment right now, so we should be fine. Okay, so Buddy's leaving. Alright, so we have 2 gates coming down from both players, pretty standard. Normally you really want to get some units out on the map early on in PvP, because it's one of those matchups where if you lose that ramp control, you can delay an expansion for so long. If you have just one more stalker than your opponent and you force him up his ramp, well, he has to stay there for quite a while until he finds a way to break that. So you need those extra units in the early game, unless you're going for something very specific. And Riser going to be putting down his own Nexus very shortly, I presume. Or I don't know when they get the Nexus after this. Oh, okay, so they get the units first. I'm an idiot. Right. I just seen Riser banking like 200 minerals, and I didn't think that like he probably wants the units out. Right. Both players opting for double stalker, but we do have a kind of a small divergence here. Is that Nano here has opted to go for Twilight Council. Riser is going for a robotics facility. So we'll have to see what Nano goes for with this Twilight Council. I feel like the more defensive play is that Robo that Razor has gotten. There's a lot he can do off of that, and it's pretty versatile. Like, he can defend whatever's coming at him once he gets that up. Sorry. So he's really not committing to a whole lot just now. Looks like we have some stalker on stalker action. Riser, of course, going to have to back off now as he realizes that his opponent will have superior numbers. And it looks like Nano going to be going for some Dark Templar very early. Riser's really going to need to get out a Observer as soon as he can. But he does have access to the Robo already. So unless those DTs get in there and unpower it very quickly, Riser's going to have a response to this. This isn't going to kill him straight away. But it doesn't really have to. You can go for DTs and PvP, and it's not going to be all in. Like, it's not the days of Heart of the Swarm where if you went for Dark Templars, like, you had to kill them with it. You can afford to go for just, like, DT harass in the early game. It's definitely not the most ideal thing in the world to do, but you can do it. Alright, so a bunch of Stalkers from Razor here. He does have a Warp Prism now. So this will be really nice. Just lets him micro all these units. And even though he has an even unit count right now with his opponent, he'll be able to use that Warp Prism to micro avoid shots. It just gives him a lot more micro ability in this fight. Unfortunately, Rise are losing one of those Stalkers right away. And the Stalkers of Nano targeting down that Warp Prism, but a lot of these Stalkers go down, and Nano looks like he'll be able to get up the ramp. And we don't have any Dark Templars being warped in just yet. I don't even know if that Twilight Council is done. Looks like that gate, all these gateways will get empowered, and Razor just gonna take that quick win there. Artosis Pylon, just not coming in very handy there. That was a pretty unfortunate game there for Nano. He didn't really get to see what his, or get to play out his whole game plan there. That's one of those things, like, if he gets a Dark Templar out, you know, he can hold that. But, yeah, just unfortunate there for him. We'll be going into the next game very shortly. Presumably. Alright, so let's see who our next set of players is. So it looks like we're going to be going into Siege versus Allin, a TVP. So I'm pretty sure Siege is here and ready. That's a pretty cool picture. Okay, looks like both our players readied up here. Wait, what? Alright. So next game is going to be on Lost and Found. I think this is a fine one for both these people to play on. I don't see any reason why a Protoss player would really dislike this too much. I guess there's like a couple of annoying places that Terran can push and drop at. But overall, I don't think it's that bad. Alright, so spawning down here in the bottom left, we have in a red for all inspiration. It is Siege. And up in the top, oh, sorry, top right side of the map. God, I'm an idiot. We have in the blue playing Protoss. It is Allison. It's been a long day. Okay, let's not judge too much. Now, what we're gonna see here is a good old Siege special. It's probably gonna be, if I had to guess, it's gonna be a Proxy Reaper into a Proxy Factory into a Proxy Starport. Siege is not really feeling too comfortable with the PvT meta, and it looks like Allison will skip that right away, so it's actually super bad for Siege. Allison gonna go ahead and stop that right away. You can't really blame Allison for checking these proxy locations, because this is really like the hot thing right now in the PvT meta. It's just everyone's proxying. A lot of Terrans are, I guess, not liking the matchup, or kind of like, I feel like Maru influences a lot of these people, where they see Maru having success with all these proxies, and so they proxy themselves. But, you know, not necessarily like a bad way to go about it, but it's just kind of what everyone likes to do right now, is proxy. It's kind of like when TVT was just like only Proxy Reaper, because everyone thought that you couldn't do anything else. But yeah, Siege instead just gonna put the barracks up back at home. So this is definitely, you know, pretty annoying for him. His whole game plan from now is pretty much ruined, I'd say. But it's not the end of the world. I'm kind of actually surprised Siege went for this. He goes for the command center before the factory after getting the 2 gas right away. I feel like if he has the 2 gas already, he should have maybe tried to get that factory out a bit quicker, but I'm not sure. It looks kind of like a combat shield. Alright, so first adept is on its way across the map. We don't have a whole lot of units out for Siege, mind you. Okay. I think there's literally... Okay, there's 2 Marines out. 2 Marines is kind of enough to fend off an adept. Oh, I guess like he will commit to this. Normally this is something a lot of Protoss players just kind of like don't really commit to. Oh my god, is that gonna... Oh, thanks for the follow. I probably should have turned the sound off for that before I started streaming. Oh, but yeah, it looks like Allison's doing pretty well here. Kills 2 Marines, Adept gets out. A lot of damage on the Adept though, so it is definitely a bit weak, but I think considering the start Allison got with this, that it's fine. Like, it's fine to lose a bit of the health on that Adept. Just let's the Protoss player kind of get that momentum going, and that's the big thing too in this matchup, is the momentum of what can and can't happen. It's like losing a couple units, especially if you're the Protoss player, can really change how the entire game goes. You know, if you have that couple extra stalkers, yeah, you can afford to pick away the Terran force and just kind of be a bit more aggressive. But if you lose, let's say, an Adept in that early game, like, let's say when he was poking at those Marines, he loses that Adept because 2 more Marines pop out. Like, that sucks because he doesn't have any way to scout. And this attack here is a lot less impactful without that 1 Adept. It will get a lot of damage done though. Siege really does not have enough to deal with this here. This is a pretty committed attack here. A lot of stalkers coming in here. These fresh mules getting murdered here. And looks like we're having a swell of quick games. So yeah, looks like try again is gonna take set 2 there. And a very, very short technical game. I feel like that was just super unlucky for Siege to get his proxy scouted right away. But I mean, like, I feel like if you're playing Terran, like, you really got to be a bit more creative with your proxy locations in the current meta. Like, it's just not worth it. If you're gonna proxy and a probe finds it, like, you know, what can you do? You can't finish the building, so. Alright, so it looks like our next map's gonna be on Blue Shift. PvZ between Nicro and Eric. I wonder if this is the same Eric that plays in a lot of the Copa America events. I've seen an Eric in the name. Or, like, I've seen the name. I haven't actually seen any games. But I've seen the name Eric pop up a lot. I wonder if it's the same one. If it is, it'd be pretty cool. Okay, alright, for that to start, I should probably turn off the, properties. Okay, so I turned the volume off for the follow alert. Because I don't mind, like, obviously the follow alerts when I'm streaming, but I find it's definitely, like, not a great experience when you're watching a crappily cast clan war. Jeez. Alright. So it looks like both our players are ready now. We've had a wide variety of matchups today too. That's pretty nice. Normally with these with Alpha League matches, I find it tends to just be like 3 matches of ZVZ and then 1 of like PVZ. But we've had, you know, a couple different ones. That's pretty cool. Alright, so down here we have spawning in the bottom left in the blue for try again is Eric. And up in the top right we have from All Inspiration, it is Nicro. So both these teams pretty tooth and... Is tooth and neck a correct word? Probably. But they're fighting pretty hard, you know, 1-to-1. Really, whoever wins this match is gonna kind of dictate the pace of this series, and that can always spiral into a win, especially with team leagues like these. I find, with my experience, like watching us like Allin play in Alpha League, a lot of our matches kind of go off of just like the energy and the atmosphere of who wins and who loses. You know, if you're coming in hot on a 2-0 start and you're the next up to play, like you feel freaking good, you know. So, but that's not to say that we can't, you know, one side can't come back. And we do have a pretty early pool here from Eric. I'm not sure how early that was because I was too busy being an idiot to make proper reads about the game. But that looks, I think that might have been a 14 pool. That seems about right. Keep backing up the larva. Okay, so he's sending 4 Zerglings over there. Maybe that was just a normal timed pool, I don't know. I want to think that's early. Yeah, it's getting 6, that was early, right? So, Nicro has seen that his opponent did go for that early pool. Sent a Probe Scout pretty early on, so he's not going to take too much damage from this. But he hasn't seen the Roach Warren. So we have speed for Zerglings and Roachworn on the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this probably isn't gonna be the longest game. Looks like both clans really not liking to play those long macro games. So will this probe get in here and see much? It doesn't look like it's seen anything there really. It did see the fact that there is no drones transferring down, but you can just kind of... I think you can like attribute to that to just being like not in time. But anyways, these 4 Lings are going to get in here. I'm actually surprised Nyko didn't chrono boost that Stalker, as he should have seen the early pool. Maybe he wasn't really thinking about it, just like I wasn't. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to take too much damage. This one Stalker, microed well, will be able to deal with all these Lings. But he does have to worry about this follow-up. That's a lot of roaches heading across the map. And I'm not really sure if Nyko's prepared for this. I don't see any other units on the way. He's not pumping anything from that Robo facility right away. Where is it? Oh, it's proxied. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Can't say I've really ever seen that. This one Zealot is going to get absolutely murdered here. But that's a lot of roaches, and the fact that this Robo facility is proxied is a huge problem for Nyko. All of his gateways are going to get delayed here, and another game gets ended by a single pylon. This is just a very weird day. Eric taking a pretty quick victory off on Nyko there. I'm really, like, unsure what the hell Nyko was doing there with that proxied Robo, but I'm not sure. But I guess it's payback for Riser taking that one game at the start. Because there's both times the players got killed by one pylon, and it just, like, completely destroyed their plans for the rest of the game. Alright, so let's see who's up next. It's going to be TVT, actually. Interesting. So we've had no mirror matchups tonight, and no repeat matchups either. So that's pretty interesting. And I've watched Bunny Willis stream a couple times, but I've never like really seen him going like full tryhard, you know. So I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. He's probably, yeah, definitely the highest ranked Terran on our team. So, you know, I'm gonna have to take some notes. What's Bunny's MMR? 5.4. That's not bad. Alright, so both our players are ready. Okay, so on Acid Plant, not a bad map. I feel like this is a one map a lot of Terrans are pretty comfortable on, so I'm not surprised to see 2 Terrans coming out for this one. Alright, so spawning up here we have 4 try again, up in the top left. In the blue, it is Sector. In the bottom right, playing for Allin, it is our last hope, or our first last hope. In the green, it is Bunny Willis. And if I didn't know any better, I would say Sector's proxy. This is my favorite way to play TVT. Yeah, probably not a 2-Rax, right? He would have sent another SCV by now. Unless he's making the second Rax at home. Yeah, definitely going to probably be proxy Cyclones. So, if Bunny Willis does an SCV scout, he's going to be in for some tough times. He is getting that second gas, so that's probably going to lead himself to getting a faster factory, which will, of course, help him in holding his push so much more. You really need that quicker factory if you want to build Cyclones of your own, because as many people have found out, Cyclones are pretty good. And if you don't build Cyclones, you know, you're really missing out. So it looks like factories are going down at the exact same time here. We'll have to see if Bunny decides to go for a quicker reactor here. Because normally, like, it's a bit tough here when you're going for any safe build. We had this one build that's pretty popular that you've probably seen like players like TY do, where they get that 2 Reaper opening and they get a Cyclone after it. That's really good for dealing with like a 2-Rax Reaper rush, but it's not really good for dealing with the Cyclone push because you really need that extra build time on a reactor to build Cyclones of your own. So if you're delaying that, yeah, so he's delaying that reactor going for a second Reaper, just because, you know, it's not only good versus that 2-Rax, but it's also good versus a standard play of your opponents. If they go for the 2 Reapers and a Cyclone, or in this case, which is actually a bit unfortunate for Bunny Willis here, he's getting a Hellion. Now, a lot of things are kind of coupling together to make this a bad time for Bunny. He hasn't scouted until just now, as he hasn't even gotten across the map yet, so he actually doesn't know what's up at all. He's just getting a wall in now. But, going for that Hellion is actually super risky. It's really nice if your opponent only makes the 2 Reapers, or if your opponent makes 2 Reapers and another Hellion, but with this play, like, he needs Cyclones out, and he needs them out ASAP. Really nice targeting there from Sector. Is going to take out the SCV, building that command center. And they're going to come up the ramp here. Submarines are started. Cyclone is almost done here for Bunny. And a couple depots are going down. And Bunny's actually going to be supply blocked from this. And that barracks actually going to be super annoying. Going to kind of, I guess, what's the term, like, distract some of the targeting here. A bit of bad targeting here from Sector, actually losing 2 of his Cyclones earlier on. I thought he was going to be in a much better position here, but it looks like Bunny Willis is going to hold on here. He has lost the command center on the low ground. I believe he canceled that, but it's still going to be tough here for his opponent. Normally you really want to keep the Cyclones alive as long as you can, and kind of snowball this into an insurmountable amount of Cyclones to deal with. But now that Bunny Willis has killed the first 2, even going to kill the first 4, and he hasn't really gotten a whole lot of value out of these. Like you see, he's lost 3 Cyclones for, like, he's gotten more resource value, but kind of like tech-wise, like, you want to kill those important units that take a while to build for Bunny Willis. Like, you want to keep that Cyclone count low. Not the Cyclone getting so low. That barracks is going to die too. So Sector is getting up his own CC back at home, so he's definitely not completely all in with this. But this is definitely not where he wanted the game to go. I think he wants to end it with that. Or wanted to. Because it is kind of like not ideal when this doesn't pan out. Because you have this reactor in the middle of the map. And it's like, you kind of need to keep producing cyclones from it for a bit. If you want to survive here. Looks like Bunny Willis not going to be going for reactor cyclones of his own. In fact, even producing a Hellion. I'm not quite sure why, but hey man. Do it, make you like. I guess he's just going to use it to scout. It is a lot faster than the cyclone. So kind of, I think Bunny Willis at this point, he's just going to play it safe, see what's up, see what he can find out. This Cyclone's going to go, not Cyclone, sorry, Hellion's going to go across the map, trying to find out, okay, like what does he have? Is he just on one base? Is he mech? Does he have a Raven? Does he have a Banshee? Like what does he have? And so he kind of darts in there. He sees that there is a command center. He sees that there's a Raven. So he hasn't really seen a whole lot just yet. His opponent is going for bio. What is Bunny going to go for himself? Probably bio. I think I've heard Bunny complain about mech before, so I wouldn't lump him in with the shitters like me. But yeah, Bunny's in a pretty good spot. Even though the CC did get cancelled. He's still in a pretty good spot this game. I think he can take this out. So first move it here from Bunny Sector. His production was quite shaken there, because as we mentioned, like, when you have this reactor and all your production built across the map, to float that all home and start your production up anew takes a while. Like, the Terran industry can't adjust well to sudden relocations like that. And I'm not sure if we don't even have a tank out here for Sector just yet. One is about halfway done, but it's not going to be here in time, and this push from Bunny is looking pretty strong. If one Raven here could use a couple auto turrets, Seeker Missile, or whatever the hell it wants here. So Siege Tank does go down. Those 3 Cyclones are still alive in the back here, and they will pick off that Siege Tank, but pretty much everything else gets taken out. And this is a lot of damage here. The CC is going to get forced to lift. A lot has gone down. Siege Tank will siege up on the high ground, but is that going to be enough? Looks like those Marines and that Cyclone will be able to take out that Siege Tank, and will Sector be able to hold on after this? He does have a lot of barracks up now, so he can produce a lot of Marines, but back at home, Bunny is just going to continue to macro up, even if Sector can clear this. Is it worth it? Like, and even this command center is burning. I don't think he'll be able to save that either if he targets that down. And Bunny Willis, 1 Cyclone left. Gonna start melting down this command center. I guess, I imagine Sector doesn't necessarily know what's up. For all he knows, his opponent could be on one base. Because that was a lot of units to bring out there. Bunny's macro was pretty on point. Alright, and that's going to be kind of an awkward period of the game. Bunny can't really kill his opponent just yet, but his opponent's pretty much dead. So Bunny's going to need to wait until he can just wrestle that air control, so he can finally finish off his opponent. Of course, as I said, Sector doesn't know that he's lost the game. Like, in his vision, let's actually see if we can see what he sees. Yeah, he has no clue if there's even a natural there. For all he knows, his opponent's been one-basing him this entire time. Really nice position with these Siege Tanks here. Cyclone will eat a shot there, and that Siege Tank does get picked off. Stim is done from both sides just now, but Bunny actually doesn't have any medevacs. And this could be a big dick play here if Sector is to go for it, but a bit too scared there. And it will force that CC to lift off for just a bit here. First 2 medevacs for Bunny are heading across the map now, finally. And Sector really just jockeying for every piece of ground he can get. Even draws a tank shot with those Marines there. He is going to push in, spread a bit, but it looks like the Marines here from Bunny Willis are going to be enough to force him back. And every second he's not mining off the CC is just another second that he's sitting here slowly bleeding out. Oh, that's funny actually. Alright, so this looks like it will be the last attempt here from Sector to try to finish the scout. And GG is going to be called. Bunny Willis tying it up. Now, I believe it goes to the ace match, so we're going to see who Allin and Try Again are going to field here. Alright, so I'm sure both teams are just kind of deliberating who they're going to use as their ace pick. I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think maybe we'll see like Riser versus Eric. Because everyone seemed to be hyping Eric up a lot in chat. Hey, look. I was right. Okay, so we'll have to see who can take this one out. Riser has been playing at DreamHack all day, so can he finish his clan war out for us? Or can Eric take his rightful throne here in Alpha Team League? I wonder if Eric is like the riser of this clan. He's like super good and everyone just worships him. That'd be kind of cool if every team had like their own little god. Okay, so spawning down here, we have an E bottom right side of the map into purple. Playing Protoss for all inspiration, it is Riser. And up at the top left, we have from Try Again. It is the Red Zerg player, it is Eric. Trying to think of the command to get rid of those. I don't know. Okay, so I'm not sure if Riser was watching the game versus it was versus Necro, I think. That Eric played, but he should at least probe scout, I believe. Yeah, so he's gonna probe scout. He knows that Eric has the potential to cheese. Of course, it's just one game, and you know, a player like Eric, he seems like he's probably well-rounded enough, being in GM and all that. It's probably not a one-trick pony. He can probably do a decent amount of styles. Especially after, like, you come out for the ace match. Like, if you cheese the first one, the first game, I think it kind of sets a nice precedent where your opponent plays a bit safer because they know you have the potential to cheese. So it just makes your macro game a bit easier. So it's a pretty good play. So I'll have to see what build Riser decides to go for here. Doesn't look like Eric is doing anything too aggressive just yet. Just gonna drone up a bit, get some queens. And looks like we got a Twilight Council on the way here for Riser. So a lot of things that could be. I'm thinking there's a good chance it's a DT drop in Archons. Of course, it could be some weird Riser build I've never seen before. Who knows? I can't imagine he's gonna go. Yeah, so it's probably definitely gonna be the DT Archon drop. It's a pretty safe build, and I feel like in the meta currently, like, you don't really see as many Protoss players going for the DT variant. I think it's been a bit figured out, but it's at that point where it can kind of make a resurgence because it's not being used that much. It's like there's definitely going to be games that you play where the Zerg player just doesn't have detection, and then you do a lot of damage. Like, we actually don't have any way, like, any detection just yet here for Eric. No lair. He's gonna need to make some spores. He has a roach horn on the way, but that's not gonna deal with these DTs. And like, the thing is, Eric sees the robo facility. He's gonna see the prism that comes out of it. Of course, that doesn't scream immediately, like, oh crap, you know, Dark Templars are on the way. But it should be a thought. And we see Eric going for some Spore Crawlers now, so he is taking that into account. So this DT play shouldn't get too much damage done, assuming that Eric has enough roaches out in time, and it looks like he will. These roaches, of course, not only for the DTs, but they are also really good versus those Archons that will come out after the DTs have found out that they can't do anything. So I think the Zerg player gets like 10 or 12 of those, right? And then you kind of keep them all bunched up. So, nice job killing some creep there. He sees that there's roaches and a decent amount of queens out. They're just gonna morph some Archons. So that's definitely not ideal for Riser. I think he wants to go in there and probably do a little bit more damage before he has to morph the Archons. Because if you send the DTs in right away and don't do any damage, it's just kind of like, you know, a bit suspect. Like, you want to get more done. Nice micro here from Riser, picking off an Overlord and some drones. And just going to back right off. Just going to kind of force his opponent to, you know, move around a bit. It's going to force him to send his units over there and over yonder. Nice transfuse on that Overlord. Riser going to pick up, yes he will. So that's like 3 Overlords, a Creep Tumor, and a couple of drones have gone down. So that's not bad. But I feel like, again, definitely not ideal for Riser. He's going for charge behind this, so... Oh, yikes. That Warp Prism is getting very low. Kills a Roach. Riser's going to follow this up with probably some sort of +1 charge timing, maybe? Or maybe that's just what he's progressing towards. He is getting the second Robo, so I think that's probably not going to be an all-in. Like, he has a 3rd base up, sure. But that doesn't mean he can't do a push off of 3rd base. And it looks like he actually lost one of his Archons. That's pretty unfortunate there. But it's almost like a stereotype of Riser for us. Is he always loses his drops. But it's the thought that counts. It's the effort he puts into doing the drops that matters. Razor's just going to continue to attack pretty fairly here. His opponent was a bit late taking his fourth base, sorry. Kind of attacking up a bit first. Going towards Hydras and Lurkers, actually, right as he takes his fourth. That's a lot of Hydras, though. I feel like maybe Eric wants to get something done here. He wants to hit a timing. He wants to maybe hit when Groove Spines there finishes. I think that's the upgrade, yeah. So he's heading across the map. Oh, it's Muscular Augments. But he's going to head across the map, try to deny that fourth base. All of Razor's units are in the middle of the map here. Like, that's actually pretty crazy. Looks like we're probably going to have a base trade or a recall. I feel like if Razor recalls into this, though, that's not going to be ideal for him. He probably wants to get some damage done here first. I think maybe he... Oh, there's no detection of this army. Razor's perfectly fine just attacking the base here. His opponent doesn't have any, only has one Overseer, and I don't know where it is, but this army from Razor can get a lot of damage done. There's a lot of drones over there he could be killing, but looks like he's just going to try to go up into the main base. Nice force field on the ramp is going to stop all of the units from Eric there from getting in. And there's a lot of important buildings up here. There's a Hydra Den, the Lurker Den, there's the lair. That's a lot of stuff that can go down here. And looks like Razor has a couple of force fields. Not going to be able to force field everything out, but at least he's going to be getting good fights with these. He's going to pull his units towards the ramp. He hasn't managed to kill any of the buildings except for the spawning pool just yet. A couple more roaches are spawning here. That lair has gone down. And I think Razor has this. He just needs to kill these buildings and recall. Yeah, it just looks like he's just going to wait and get all his units together and recall. Unless he wants to fight it. I feel like that's like the one way you lose that game is if you fight it. Yeah, he's recalling now. Nice play. So Razor realizes what's up. It's like, listen, the only way I'm losing this game is if I take a bad fight. And that was a bad fight to take, to go down a ramp into that Zerg army. He might have won, yeah. But he can win guaranteed in 5 minutes. I would always take that play. He has 2 Immortals on the way at a time. And Storm's almost done as well. So this Zerg army is not going to be looking great once that Storm finishes. Honestly, these Immortals, like, they're still good units, don't get me wrong. But they don't do the greatest versus Ravager Hydra. They're not ideal. Like, obviously, they're fucking Immortals. They're tanky as heck and do a lot of damage still, yeah. But the units that his opponent has are not what's going to get shredded by this, you know? So Eric has a fairly sizable army here. But he can only produce roaches with this. Like, he can't get any more Hydras, sorry, with this army. He doesn't have access to Lurkers. He didn't morph any while he could. And so, until he gets a lair up, this army is going to be very unsophisticated here for Eric. And now that we have Psy Storms on the field, I don't think there's anything Eric can do here to come back. Those Psy Storms just going to blanket the Zerg army, doing a lot of damage. Razor can just keep warping in. These Archons and Immortals are so strong versus this army, and with Psy Storms to assist, I don't think Eric will be able to fight this army head on. And even DT's getting in the back there, getting some damage done. This is still a pretty small army from Razor here, but he does have a lot of really strong units in here. Gonna morph some of his Templars into an Archon, and GG is called. Razor gonna take the ace match, and that's gonna be it. Allin takes the victory, 3-2 over Try Again. It's a pretty good set of games. That was pretty enjoyable. They all lasted very quick, which was nice, because I'm pretty tired. So if those were all like 30-minute long macro games, I don't know what the hell I'd do. But yeah, GG's, great playing versus you guys. Hope the rest of your alpha season goes well. And that's going to be it for me tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate all the follows. Have a good night, guys.